Aquarius, stop scrolling, stop everything. Because the cards are showing me something so clear, so undeniably specific, that I need you to hear this before the sun goes down tonight. Someone who vanished from your life, someone you stopped waiting for, someone whose name you trained yourself not to say out loud, is coming back. And they are not coming back empty handed. They are coming back with an apology that rewrites the story you've been telling yourself for months, maybe years. They are coming back with an offer, a correction, a making right that you thought the universe forgot to deliver. And I need you to understand, I am not performing confidence here. I am so certain of what this deck is laying in front of me that I will make you a promise I have never made in 25 years of reading. If this does not land in your life within the window I am about to give you, I will take my oldest, most sacred deck, the one my grandmother placed in my hands, and I will burn it on camera. I will never touch another card. That is how finished this reading is. The seeds grew. The harvest is already in the barn. You are simply waiting for the knock. I need you to do something for me right now, and I need you to actually do it, not just nod at your screen. Put the phone on the table. If you have earbuds in, leave them in, but put whatever else is in your hands down. The laundry, the dishes, the second screen you were half watching, the conversation you were half listening to, set it all down. Because what is coming through for you tonight, Aquarius, is not background noise. This is not the video you play while you fold towels or wait for the microwave. The cards are showing me a level of detail that demands your full, undivided breathing presence. You owe this to yourself. You owe this to the version of you who has been white-knuckling through a silence that nobody else in your life understands. You deserve to hear this with both ears open and your chest unguarded. So take one breath, let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. I know you didn't realize you were clenching it. You always are. You have been holding your face in a shape of endurance for so long that you forgot you were doing it. Let it go right now. This next stretch of time belongs to you and to what the deck is insisting I tell you. And I want to address something before we go further, because I can feel the part of you that is already building the wall. You are thinking, okay, this sounds good, but I have heard this before. I have clicked on a video that promised me the thing I desperately wanted, and it dissolved into nothing. I believed, and then Thursday came and nothing happened, and I felt stupid for hoping. I get it. And I want to tell you that your skepticism is not weakness. It is scar tissue. It is the part of you that learned, through repetition, that wanting something out loud makes it easier to lose, so you stopped wanting it out loud. You stopped telling your friends, you stopped lighting the candle, you stopped checking your phone for a name that never appeared, and that protection worked. It kept you standing. But Aquarius, I need you to hear me clearly. The protection is no longer required. The cards are not asking you to be naive tonight. They are asking you to witness something that is already in motion. You do not need to manufacture belief. You just need to stay in the room and let me show you what is on the table. The skepticism can sit in the corner with its arms crossed. That is fine. It does not change what the spread reveals. And here is the thing I need you to understand about why this found you. Because you are going to want to call it coincidence. You are going to want to say the algorithm just served this up and I clicked because I was bored at 11 p.m. But the deck does not care about the algorithm. The deck does not know what time it is in your time zone. What the deck knows is the shape of the ache you have been carrying, and it matched that shape to this exact arrangement of symbols, because you were meant to hear the words I am about to say in the order I am about to say them. You did not find this reading. This reading grew a set of legs and walked into your evening because the timing demanded it. Something in you has been counting days without admitting it. Something in you has been rehearsing what you would say if the phone lit up with a name you deleted from your contacts, but not from your memory. And tonight, the universe is answering that quiet, embarrassing, private rehearsal. You are not crazy for hoping. You are not pathetic for still caring. You are simply early. You arrived at the station before the train, and the train is coming. I can see it in the cards. You do not have to believe me yet, you just have to stay. And I want to be honest with you about one more thing before I lay the spread. I do not know your name. I do not know your face. I cannot see whether you are sitting on a kitchen floor in a city. I will never visit or lying in a bed in a town, so small it barely registers on a map. I do not know whether the person coming back is a lover, a parent, a former business partner, a friend who ghosted you 3 winters ago. I do not know any of that. What I know is the emotional signature. I know the shape of the wound. I know the timing. I know that there is a specific week in August where a door you thought was welded shut is going to swing open, and there is going to be a face on the other side that makes your knees go soft. I know the texture of the apology. I know it will feel too large for the words they use. I know you will cry, and I know you will pretend you did not. I know all of that because the cards are showing it to me in a language older than my opinions. So when I say this is yours, I do not mean I am performing a trick. I mean the deck is pointing at you, Aquarius, and it will not look away. I said I do not know your name, and I need you to let that settle into your body for a moment. I am not being modest. I am not performing humility. I am telling you the truth of how this works so that you can trust what comes next. I cannot see your face. I do not know if you are 23 or 58. I do not know if you are sitting in a warm room or a cold one, if there is someone sleeping in the next room who would not understand why you are listening to a stranger talk about your grief at this hour. I do not know any of that, but here is what I do know. I know the shape. I know the emotional signature the way a musician knows a chord without seeing the sheet music. I know that you have been carrying a specific nameable absence, and that you have built an entire architecture of busyness around it so that you do not have to look at it directly. I know you have told at least one person that you are over it, and that the saying of it made the wound feel worse, not better. I know that you check just once, just for a second, and then you lock the phone and call yourself disciplined. I know that shape, and the cards know that shape, and they are telling me, with a volume I cannot ignore, that the shape is about to be filled. So let me show you what is on the table. I am going to lay what I call the unfinished letter spread, 13 cards. 13 because this is a reading about a message that was never sent, a conversation that was never finished. Sentence someone started in their chest and never let reach their mouth. 13 positions. Each one a paragraph in the letter that is finally being delivered. And I need to walk you through what each seat does before I turn a single card, because this spread is not gentle, and it is not common. I have used it 4 times in 25 years. It demands a level of energetic honesty from the deck that most spreads do not require, and it demands that the reader hold every thread simultaneously without dropping one. If I lose a thread, the reading collapses, so I hold them, all 13, and tonight all 13 are burning. The first position is called the silence that spoke. This is the card that shows me what the absence itself was trying to tell you while you were in it. Because the silence was not empty, Aquarius. It was saying something. You just could not hear it over your own painches. The second position is the wound you buried. This is the specific injury you stopped talking about because you decided you had grieved it enough. Even though you had not, the third is the hand that left. This card shows me the energy of the person who walked away, what they were feeling in the moment of leaving, which is almost never what the one left behind assumes. The fourth is the road they walked. This is what happened to them in the time between leaving and returning. They did not go somewhere comfortable. I need you to understand that before we meet them at the door. The fifth position is the turning point, the exact shift, the exact realization, the exact night where they understood they could not keep pretending. The sixth is the hidden apology, what they want to say but will struggle to say, the words underneath the words. The seventh is the door they are standing at. This is the literal, physical, energetic threshold of the return, how they arrive, what they look like in the moment before they speak. The eighth is the proof they carry, because they are not coming back with only words. They are bringing evidence, something tangible, something you can hold in your hand or read with your eyes. The ninth is the words they rehearsed, the exact energy of the first sentence out of their mouth. I will tell you what it feels like. The 10th is the bridge being built. What happens in the first 48 hours after the return? The fragile architecture of the new thing being constructed in real time. The 11th is the gift inside the wound. This is the position that always makes me cry, because it shows me what the absence gave you that presence never could. The 12th is the next chapter written, not a vague future. A specific next movement, a plan, a date, a decision made and kept. And the 13th, the final card, is called the signature, the seal on the letter, the confirmation that the message is real, that it was meant for you, that the universe did not make an error. 13 cards, 13 paragraphs, one letter you have been waiting to receive. And I am going to turn them now, one by one, and you are going to feel every single one land somewhere specific in your body. Do not rush me. Do not skip ahead. Let each card breathe before the next one arrives. The first card I turn is the silence that spoke, and the deck gives me the Hanged Man. Now, before you flinch, before you think this means more waiting, more suspension, more being stuck, I need you to hear what this card is actually saying in this position. The Hanged Man is not punishment. The Hanged Man is the figure who chose to see the world from an angle no one else could see, and the price of that vision was stillness. The silence you endured was not abandonment. It was a forced perspective shift. The universe turned you upside down so that you could finally see what right side up living had hidden from you. For some of you, this silence was romantic. A person you loved went quiet, and in that quiet, you were forced to confront what you had been tolerating, what you had been calling love that was actually just proximity. You learned the shape of your own standards in the negative space they left behind. For others, the silence was professional. A door you walked through, role you poured yourself into simply stopped calling you back. The project ended, the contract was not renewed, the collaboration dissolved without ceremony. And in that silence, you learned that your worth was never attached to their invitation. You were building something in the quiet that you could not have built in the noise. Notice which one just tightened your chest. That reaction is information. That is your thread. Hold it, the second card, the wound you buried. The deck pulls the Five of Pentacles, and I hear a small sound from the back of my throat because this card is two figures walking in the cold outside a lit window, and they are choosing not to knock. They are choosing to keep walking in the freezing dark because they have convinced themselves they do not deserve the warmth inside. This is you, Aquarius. This is the wound you decided you had no right to grieve anymore. For some of you, it is the family wound. The parent who did not defend you, the sibling who chose a side that was not yours, the gathering you stopped attending because the chair where you sat was rearranged into a shape that no longer included you. You buried it because you decided it was too old, too petty, too small to still hurt. But the Five of Pentacles says it is still hurting, and it says the person who caused it knows. They know, and they are building the courage to address it. For others, this wound is the career betrayal, the credit taken, the name left off the project, the quiet conversation you overheard where your contributions were minimized by someone you trusted. You told yourself it was fine. You told yourself you were above it. You were not above it. You were in it. And the cards are telling me that the correction for that specific wound is already in transit. The third card, the hand that left, and the deck gives me the Eight of Cups. And I want you to really sit with this one because it is going to challenge the story you built. The Eight of Cups is the figure walking away from 8 standing cups, leaving them full, leaving them behind, walking into the dark mountains. This is not cruelty. This is not malice. This is a person who looked at everything they had built with you, every good memory, every full cup, and realized they could not stay without destroying themselves. For some of you, this was the lover who left not because they stopped loving you, but because staying was costing them a piece of their own identity they could not name at the time. They left to find out who they were without you, not because you were not enough, but because they had forgotten who they were entirely. For others, this was the mentor, the boss, the professional figure who stepped back because the structure that held you together was rotting underneath them, and they did not know how to tell you. They walked into their own mountain, their own confusion, their own guilt, and the cards are showing me that the mountain was not kind to them either. They did not leave into comfort. They left into reckoning, the fourth card, the road they walked. And the deck pulls the tower in reverse, and I need you to understand what that means. The tower upright is the sudden destruction, the lightning strike, the structure falling, but reversed, the tower is the slow collapse, the one that happens in private, the one where no one sees the walls cracking, because the person holds the shape from the outside while everything inside is giving way. This is what happened to them after they left you. For some of you, in the romantic thread, they went into another situation that looked like freedom, but was actually another cage. They tried to replace the depth they had with you with something shallow and easy, and it hollowed them out. They spent months, maybe over a year, pretending the collapse was not happening. For others in the family or career thread, they walked into a situation where their authority, their identity, their sense of being right was systematically dismantled. They found themselves in a position where they were the one not defended, not credited, not chosen. And the cards are showing me that this experience was not accidental. It was curriculum. They needed to feel what you felt. They needed to stand in the cold outside the lit window and understand, in their body, what it was to be the one left behind. And now they understand. And that understanding is what is bringing them back. The fifth card, the turning point, and the deck gives me the star, and I have to pause here because the star after the tower is the first breath after the worst night of your life. It is the moment the smoke clears and you can see sky again. This card is showing me the exact night, the exact internal shift, where the person who left you realized they could not keep building a life on the foundation of what they did. For some of you in the love thread, it was a night they were surrounded by people, maybe laughing, maybe in a new relationship, maybe at a dinner table where someone said something small, something trivial, and it cracked them open. Because the thing that was said reminded them of a phrase you used to use, a way you used to tilt your head. And the whole architecture of their distraction collapsed in real time in front of witnesses, and they excused themselves. And they sat in a car or a bathroom or a hallway, and they said your name out loud for the first time in months. For others in the career or family thread, the turning point was quieter. A document crossed their desk. A name came up in a meeting. A mutual contact said something in passing, your name spoken casually in a sentence. And they felt the weight of what they had not done, what they had not said, the correction they had not made. And that night they could not sleep. And the night after that they could not sleep. And by the fourth night they understood that the only cure for the weight was to set it down, at your feet, in person, with their voice. The sixth card, the hidden apology, and the deck pulls the Page of Cups. And this one makes my chest ache because the Page of Cups is the youngest, most vulnerable energy in the suit of emotion. It is the child holding out a fish in a cup, saying, "Look, I brought you something. I do not know if it is enough, but I carried it all this way." This is the apology underneath the apology. For some of you, they will say the words you expect. "I am sorry. I was wrong. I should not have left," but underneath those words, the Page of Cups is showing me the thing they will almost say but struggle to finish. The sentence that starts with, "I was afraid of how much I needed you," and they will stop, and they will start again, and they will say it differently. But the shape of it will be that. For others in the professional or family thread, the hidden apology is not verbal. It is a gesture, a retraction, a name put back where it belongs, a public correction that costs them something. That undoes a version of events they had benefited from. And the Page of Cups tells me they are terrified of this gesture because it makes them small. It makes them the one who owes, and they have not been the one who owes in a very long time, and they are going to do it anyway, because the weight is worse than the humility. The seventh card, the door they are standing at, the Chariot, and this is where the reading gets physical, Aquarius, because the Chariot is movement. It is a body in transit. It is someone who has made the decision and is no longer debating. They are not thinking about reaching out. They are not drafting and deleting. The Chariot says they are already in motion. For some of you, this arrival is digital first. A message, a text that appears on a screen you were not watching, from a number you did not recognize at first, or from a name you thought you had deleted. And the message will not be long. It will not be a paragraph of explanation. It will be short, almost too short, as if they typed a novel and deleted it and typed another one and deleted it and finally sent the smallest, most fragile version because anything larger felt presumptuous. For others, this arrival is physical. A knock, a car in a driveway, a figure in a hallway or a doorway or the back corner of a place you go regularly, and they will look different, not dramatically. But there will be a tiredness around the eyes, a softening, a quality of having rehearsed this moment so many times that the actual moment has made them slightly clumsy. They will not know where to put their hands. Watch for the hands, the eighth card, the proof they carry, and the deck gives me the Ace of Pentacles, and I want you to really hear this because this is where the reading stops being emotional and becomes material. The Ace of Pentacles is a tangible gift, a seed you can hold in your palm. This is not a vague promise. This is not, "I will do better," spoken into the air. For some of you in the romantic thread, the proof is a change in circumstance. A situation that previously made the relationship impossible has been removed. A relocation, a job change, a legal matter resolved. They are not just coming back with words. They are coming back with the obstacle gone. They fixed the thing they said they could not fix. For others in the career or family thread, the proof is a document, a letter, an email with an attachment, a formal acknowledgement, something with a date and a signature and a specificity that cannot be walked back. The Ace of Pentacles says it is already written. It is already in someone's hands, being prepared, being finalized. You will hold it. You will read it with your own eyes. And when you do, you will feel the weight of it in your fingers. And the weight will feel like the months you spent thinking no one was ever going to make this right. They are. The proof is being built right now. And it has your name on it, the ninth card, the words they rehearsed. And the deck pulls the Knight of Cups. And I want you to close your eyes for a second if you can, because I am going to describe a moment and I want you to feel it before it happens. The Knight of Cups rides slowly. He does not gallop, he does not rush. He holds the cup out in front of him like it might spill, like the liquid inside is precious and volatile. This is how they will speak to you, slowly, carefully, as if every word has been weighed 3 times before they let it leave their mouth. For some of you, in the love thread, the first thing they say will not be "I love you." It will not be "I missed you." It will be something smaller, something that catches you off guard. Maybe your name, just your name, said in a tone that holds the whole history. Maybe, "I don't know if I deserve to say this." Maybe, "I rehearsed this in my car 3 times before I walked up." And the Knight of Cups tells me their voice will not be steady. They will not perform confidence. They will be visibly, undeniably nervous, and that nervousness is the proof that this is real. For others in the family or career thread, the first words will be formal but fragile. "I owe you a correction. I need to make something right. I should have said this sooner." And underneath the formality, the Knight of Cups shows me their hands will be slightly unsteady. They will hold the paper or the phone or the object they brought, and their grip will be too tight, because they are holding themselves together through their fingers. The 10th card, the bridge being built. The Three of Wands. And this card is the figure standing at the shore watching the ships come in, except in this reading, you are both building the ships together. In real time, the Three of Wands says the first 48 hours after the return will be awkward and sacred simultaneously. For some of you, in the romantic thread, there will be a conversation that lasts longer than you expect. Not because it is forced, because it keeps opening. One honest sentence unlocks another. You will say something you swore you would never say, and they will say something back, and the architecture of the new thing will start forming in the space between your words. It will not be the old thing rebuilt, it will be something else. Something with better bones. For others in the career or family thread, the bridge is a series of small practical steps. A meeting scheduled, a follow-up email, a second conversation, where the first one was too emotional to be productive. The Three of Wands says, do not expect resolution in one sitting. Expect the first plank being laid, then the second, then the third, and by the end of the first week, you will look at the bridge and realize you are already halfway across and you did not even feel yourself walking. The 11th card, the gift inside the wound, and the deck gives me the Empress, and I have to stop and breathe because this is the card that always breaks me open. The Empress is abundance. She is the garden that grows whether you tend it or not. She is the body that heals itself while you sleep. And in this position, she is telling me that the absence, the terrible, grinding, lonely months of absence gave you something you could not have received any other way. For some of you, the gift is that you learned you could survive the person you thought you could not survive without. You built a life in the silence. You found a friend, habit, version of your own laugh you had forgotten existed. You became someone who does not need saving. And that person is not going back. The return does not undo your growth. It meets your growth. For others in the family or career thread, the gift is clarity. The wound showed you exactly what you will never tolerate again. You drew a line in the silence, and that line is permanent. And the person returning knows it is there, and they are stepping up to it, not over it. The Empress says the garden grew in the dark. You just could not see it yet. The 12th card, the next chapter written, the Two of Cups. And this is not vague, Aquarius. The Two of Cups is two people choosing each other with full knowledge. Eyes open, history known, no illusions. For some of you, this is a specific plan being made within the first month. A date, a dinner, a meeting, a trip, something with a time and a place and a mutual yes. Not a maybe, not a we should, a concrete, calendared commitment that both of you keep. For others, this is a professional arrangement formalized, a title corrected, a role restored, a partnership restructured on terms that actually honor your contribution. The Two of Cups says it will be mutual. It will not be one person giving and the other receiving. It will be two people looking at each other and saying, this time we build it right. And the cards show me you will believe them, not because you are naive, because the proof will be in your hands by then. The 13th card, the signature, the final card. And the deck gives me the world. And I am going to be very still for a moment because the world is completion. It is the circle closing. It is the letter arriving, being read, being understood, being answered. The world says this is not a maybe. This is not a hope. This is a sealed thing. The universe has already signed it. The ink is already dry. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for alignment. You are waiting for delivery, and the delivery is coming. The world does not promise partial arrival. It does not promise a half apology or a vague gesture. It promises the whole thing, the full circle, the complete sentence. The letter finished, sealed, and placed in your hands. And when you hold it, you will know, not because I told you, because the weight of it will match the weight of what you carried. And the carrying will end.